What is going on, my beautiful Larpers and Larpettes? Today it's going to be a little bit of a change of pace compared to all the other videos I posted up. No cool intro or anything like that. It's just going to be me talking about a couple of guns that I've acquired through the years, basically, and that I think that I got a really good deal on, and just wanted to show off that you can possibly get these good deals as well. But starting off with number 5, it's going to be two guns, actually. It's going to be the Sig P226 Legion and the Sig P226 Equinox. So usually when I go to a gun shop, I go straight to their used section if they have it, and I see what kind of good deals that I could possibly find that day, and maybe impulse buy something. And that's exactly what I did here with these two. This 226 Legion I paid 650 bucks for, and this 226 Equinox I paid 500 bucks for. Now, many of you that are looking at used guns or looking to buy something on the budget, this really isn't like a super budget price, but it is a budget compared to what they actually sell for. The 226 Legion, I wasn't really in the market for at that time. I just really didn't care about this whole Legion series of handguns at that time. I really wanted this one here, which was the Equinox. I'm more of a I like that classical look on firearms. I like the wooden grips. I like that two-tone look. It's just a gun that I think is extremely beautiful and well crafted. So right before I pulled the trigger and actually purchased it, I have a whole list that I have to go through in my head to make sure that I want this exact gun here. No matter the price, you always want to make sure that this gun is going to function and it's going to be in good shape and not be a piece of trash when you take it home, basically. So basically, when I picked up this Equinox, I checked it all out. I saw how much wear it had, and the biggest indicators that I saw on this gun was when I looked at the inside, there was still the factory lube on the slide right there. And when I looked at the barrel, there was no wear on that barrel whatsoever. So basically, what that was telling me is that the person who bought this gun probably never shot it. They just bought it and then just sold it. And that was an automatic sale for me, guys. The only mark that I found on this was on the slide itself, where it has like this little tiny nick right there. But it wasn't really a huge deal for me to pass up on this gun. So I went ahead and snatched this out of the display case and wanted them to ring me up. But then this one caught my eye. And again, I wasn't looking for a Legion that day. I didn't know what I was looking for. I just knew I wanted a good deal, and I found a good deal. But then when I saw this Legion, I saw another good deal, and I just can't pass up good deals, guys. So with this Legion, they're going around like what, like 1,200 bucks or something like that, brand new. Probably a little bit more, but for 650 bucks, I didn't give a shit what kind of condition it was in at that time. I just wanted to buy it just because it was so cheap. But then reality kind of hit me, and I was like, let me look this gun over before I actually pull the trigger, because you can buy a gun that's just complete garbage and it's just not going to work. But I didn't have any doubt that this Legion will still work, because these 226s are pretty much bulletproof, guys. They're super reliable guns and super nice to shoot. But when I was looking it over, guys, it didn't really look like he shot a whole lot of rounds to it, because, again, the first indicator that I look at is how much wear on the barrel there was, and there wasn't really a whole lot. Usually when somebody shoots a gun a ton, you're going to get a lot of wear on that barrel. But this gun probably was dry fired a lot, because some of the Cerakote had some markings on it, so you can definitely tell that this person was holstering and unholstering this gun quite a bit. But yeah, if you ever see a 226, it doesn't have to be a Legion, doesn't have to be an Equinox. I'm more of a collector for the Equinox. I don't really shoot that a lot. I just want to leave it the way it is, but I do shoot this Legion. But if you do see a standard 226 or a 226 Elite or something like that, and you see it for around that good price, I wouldn't think twice about picking one up, even if it is a little bit more beat up than these. These guys can take a whole lot of abuse. So now, number 4 on the list is the Beretta 92FS. This one is a police trade-in, or it was a surplus. I forgot what it was, but it was one of those. This one was a lot more used and abused than other used guns that I've purchased, but it was another deal that I just couldn't pass up, guys. So basically, all of these guns are just deals that I couldn't pass up. That's the reason why I got them. With the Beretta 92FS, it's an iconic gun, guys. I think everybody should have a Beretta 92FS or a Beretta 92 of some sort in their collection, because it's been in movies, it's been used by the military for many years, police officers. It's just been a proven gun. I purchased this one for 250 bucks, I believe, or yeah, 250. I think it was like 300 or something like that with tax and something like that. So 300 bucks. But yeah, when I got this guy, I was checking it out, and you could definitely tell that it's got some rounds put through it. And you can see from that barrel there, it's a little bit worn down. The slide is completely scratched up and stuff like that. It's chipping off in certain places. But regardless of all that wear and tear, I didn't have any doubt that this would not work if I were to purchase it. So I went ahead and bought this guy, and I went out and shoot it. I got like another 1,000 or 2,000 rounds through this guy since I purchased it, and it's just been working like it's supposed to. I don't doubt that this is gonna just keep proving itself as time goes on. As long as I clean it and take care of it, it's gonna serve me well throughout the years that I own it. The only thing I did change was these grips. These are lock grips, I believe that's what they're called. Lock, L-O-K. So 300 bucks is what I paid for it. I've seen them at gun shops, and I've seen them online for like 500 bucks or four something. I don't really think that I would pay 500 or 450 or whatever they are at this point in time, just because you can get a brand new one for like around 600 or so or something like that. So I would probably fork out the extra 100 and something bucks for a brand new one. And there are some companies that do get surplus Berettas pretty often. You can check out the channel sponsor, Atlantic Firearms. They usually get surplus Berettas and police trade-in Berettas pretty often. But usually when you do get them on websites, they kind of just handpick one of them and just ship it out to you. Some websites usually charge a little bit more money, so you can have them handpick a little bit better looking one. But other than that, it's kind of like the luck of the draw type thing on what you're getting. So number 3 on the list is the Smith & Wesson MP9. This here right in front of me is the Gen 1 MP9, and I got this for like $225. Yeah, so that was pretty damn cheap for this one. It did not come with this Apex trigger though. I put this Apex trigger in, so pretend that Apex trigger isn't there. And that $225 is not really uncommon for a gun like this. They're usually like $250 or almost 300 bucks for a used Gen 1. And I'm pretty sure you can find a good deal on a Gen 1 at this point in time for around that $200 and something mark. I just think the Smith & Wesson MP is pretty underrated for what it is and the price you can get them for. They are extremely reliable handguns. This one I have about maybe 5,000 rounds through it, and it's been working without any type of hiccup. And another thing that I think is underrated are these Apex triggers. A Smith & Wesson MP9 with an Apex trigger is one of the finest striker fire triggers that I've ever felt. The only reason I'm saying pretend the trigger's not there is because the price of the trigger's almost the price of that gun. I think it was like $170 or $160 or something like that. I'm probably getting those numbers wrong. It jumps up that price that I got for it used quite a bit. But I think if you were to pick up an MMP, you'd be extremely happy with it, especially if you guys are first timers and looking for your first time gun and you don't want to spend $600 on a Glock or maybe $500 on a new one. You can definitely get a used MMP9. Usually when I go to pawn shops, I'll haggle like $25 to $50 less. Sometimes they'll say, hey, bring cash and we'll give you a little bit better deal on it. So definitely when you're going into pawn shops or gun stores, bring some cash because they do give you better deals. And I want to bring in the Gen 2 just because I still think this is worth it used, because I do see these around 300 or 350 or so. And the Gen 2s definitely have a lot more updates that I think are better than the Gen 1. The triggers are still not there yet, so I'll definitely still put Apex triggers in these guns. But when it comes to certain things that you're getting on the gun, they do have better stippling. The stippling on the Gen 1s are non-existent. It's slipping around on you. That's why I have this handle it grip on there. These serrations are basically the same in the back. They just usually add serrations in the front of it. And it's a little bit slimmer on the slide. And if it comes down on the used market that you're paying $50 more for a Gen 2, then I'd go ahead and go straight to the Gen 2. I just got this Gen 1 because it was in my face and there weren't any Gen 2s available at that time. So coming in at number 2, and it's a little bit odd that I'm saying this, but it is the Canik TP9SFX, or any Canik for that matter. So many of you on my channel have probably seen the Canik Rival that I put up and the Canik Rival Steel that I put up as well. And those guns actually made me a fan of Canik firearms. I used to hate Canik firearms. I hated the first gens. I just didn't care for them. I didn't like the decocker and stuff like that. But then when I got the rival and I shot those, it made me interested in the firearm again. So I went around to a couple gun shops trying to see if I can find any other Caniks that I can kind of compare and see if it's actually a good firearm or if it was just a rival. And I came across this one here for 250 bucks. I just thought that was an amazing deal for what you're actually getting with this firearm. The reason why this is number 2 is because if you find a used one that comes with all the original stuff in the box, it's one of the best deals I think you can get in the used gun market. Every Canik that I've seen so far, used or new, comes with multiple optic plates if it's optic cut, multiple back straps, 2 or 3 different mag releases. It comes with a holster, and it comes with a lot of those cool little tools and pieces that you get for this gun. I think overall, that is an extremely good package for the price you're paying. And that 250 bucks, I don't think is out of the norm for a Canik that's used. I've seen some used ones, and I think they're all going around that same price point, like 300, 250, 200, depending on which one you get. This one is like the competition version, and this one probably should have been like 350 bucks. I don't know how much these are going for actually. If you find one of these and it doesn't have the rest of that stuff, I'd kind of look over it and just maybe go with an M&P or something like that. If you're able to get all that stuff and you're a new shooter and you're trying to find something that's extremely budget, I would go with a Canik and make sure it has all those things with it. And to top all that off, guys, they have extremely nice triggers for the prices that they're coming around. But yeah, not a bad deal for these guns, guys. I'm still working on reliability testing on it. I shot about 1,000 rounds through this one, and I have about 1,500 rounds through the Canik Rival S that I'll be doing an update video on, and 1,000 rounds through the Rivals, just the Rival. So they are all working for me pretty much great right now. So hopefully they stay that way. And yeah, that's the type of deal that you can get on a Canik. So there you go, guys. Alrighty, guys, before I get into my number 1 pick, I just want to let you know that these prices that I paid for these were pre-pandemic prices. They were pre-craziness before they started jumping up and going crazy in prices. It was fairly common to find these types of deals. I don't know about the Legion. That was like an extremely good deal. But it was pretty common to find these types of deals before the whole pandemic craziness. I don't know about now. You can probably still search around and try to find prices on them. Berettas I'm seeing used like this that are police trade-ins are like 400. Caniks I think are still like around 200 something marks. Gen 1 is still like around 2 something. Legion, I don't think you're gonna find that type of deal unless somebody's just trying to get rid of it. But nowadays prices are jumping up. I still think you should compare what they're selling new and going for used and trying to use your best judgment on how much you're actually saving there. But just make sure that you're able to see if they are fully functioning before you purchase them. But I just wanted to throw that out there, guys. If these prices seem unbelievable to you, they're not. I purchased that for that much just a couple years back. This Canik I did not, though. This Canik I purchased like last year or something like that, and I still think you can find that price for these Caniks here. But moving on to number 1, I didn't really put this in the same category on an extremely good deal that I got like the rest of these guys, just because this last gun is my holy grail gun that I've been searching for many, many years. Probably over 10 years I've been looking for this gun. And it's one of the guns that just kept getting away from me. It just kept slipping out of my grasp. It is the Colt Python. Now, not just your normal 2020 Colt Python. This is the original box, and it is a 1971 Colt Python. Now, this gun I've been searching for many years, and every time that I've come across one, I always thought to myself, I don't want to pay that price for that gun. I always told myself, it's way too expensive. I don't want to pay for it. I think the last time that I said that to myself was, I don't know how many years ago, and I saw one used for about 2,400 bucks, somewhere around there. It was probably less than that, to be honest, but it wasn't nowhere near what the prices are going for now. But this is a 1971 Colt Python that I probably should have gloves to have this, just because I want to keep this gun in the most pristine condition that I can. But it has virtually no wear on it. It's in excellent condition. It is beautiful. This gun made me extremely happy when I got it. But this gun does not fall into the category of how cheap I got these other guns. But I still think it's pretty cheap for what I can get it for nowadays. Colt Pythons, depending on the condition and what you're getting them for and the year, they're going around $3,000 to $3,500 depending on the size, model, color, stuff like that. This one I purchased for around $2,800, which isn't the most crazy deal that you can possibly get on a Colt Python. It's just something that I really wanted, and I said, you know what, I don't care, just let me have it. So that way I'm not kicking myself in the ass throughout the years once this goes on for another 10 years and I'm kicking myself in the ass that I didn't pay $2,800 for this and they're now $4,000 or $5,000 at that time. That I'm talking to my future self here, guys. But this gun is a phenomenal firearm. It is beautiful. This is literally making me wet my pants right now, just touching it. And yeah, I can't believe I have one in my hands right now. And a lot of you might say, why didn't I just go ahead and purchase the 2020 Python? I did. I purchased the 2020 Python, but it's just not the same, guys. It's just not the same. Looks the same, but it's not the same. You can just tell how much more work that they put into this gun, how much more handcrafted it is compared to the Colt Python over here. It's just one of those guns that is iconic as well. Obviously, you've seen them in The Walking Dead, and tons of other movies and shows have been using the Colt Python. And it's just a very beautiful gun to have in your collection. I know it's kind of a curveball on the prices and stuff like that, but I just wanted to let you guys know that sometimes when you're looking at these good deals, sometimes it might seem a little bit out of question at the time. Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet on something that you truly love, and it's always going to be an investment. No matter how much I paid for this today, it's always going to go up in the future. I think that for any firearm that you see on this table, I think firearms are a great investment to have. It's very frustrating when you find a gun at a good price and then you lose out on that deal, and then 10 years later you see them for $1,000 more than what you could have got it for. But it is what it is. That's the name of the game. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on me just going over a couple of guns. Again, I'm sorry that the Colt Python kind of came out at the end there and hit you with that curveball on the price, but I'm not really expecting you guys to go out and buy a Colt Python. I just basically wanted to show you guys what I was proud of spending my money on. I was proud of these deals, even though this one wasn't really the price that I would want it for like I saw in the past. I just felt it was something that I thought was really nice to share with you guys as well. So if you guys are into the used market like I am, I buy tons of guns used. Don't hesitate to buy them, but at the same time do tons of research and make sure that you're not going to get screwed over in the long run. Buy them from gun shops and buy them from reputable pawn shops. Usually I don't like doing deals with face-to-face type transactions, just because by the time that gun gets handed over to you and you take it home or whatever it is, it might be a piece of shit. So maybe meet them up at a range or something like that where you can actually shoot the gun and test it out and stuff like that. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you agree with some of this stuff on what I paid for them, or if you think I overpaid for certain things, let me know in the comments below. And let me know if you kind of agree on how I kind of rank the prices on them, other than the Python, I guess. And let me know if you'd like to see more like top 5 things or top 5 whatever I have here. I'm planning on doing like a top 5 sub-gun video, top 5 rifles and stuff like that. Not necessarily used, but just top 5 things. So that way you guys get more variety and not just wait for a YouTube review on a certain gun. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Love you all. Catch you in the next one.